Hi Libra, welcome to your week ahead tarot with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant signs. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Libra, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. With that said, remember they are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody, and that is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your key to the week this week, you have the Hierophant card. In this deck, it's actually called Faith. And if I'm honest, with the readings that have come up for you guys recently, I kind of feel like it's almost like a dual sort of hit. The first thing is, this is about the faith that you have in yourself, right? Forget any external pressure, circumstances, glorified being or anything like that. This is literally about you tapping into your own self-belief, right? And when we have self-belief, when we have true faith in ourselves, literally miraculous things are possible. Now, that does need to go beyond you, and you do need to connect to something higher, bigger, wiser, and all the rest of it than you. But this week, I really want you to take a moment to think about tapping into your own self-belief, or maybe even questioning, what are your beliefs? What do you believe about yourself that is either no longer true, or what is it that you believe about yourself that is true? This is a time to really dig into that. And the other part of it as well, and this is a feeling that I have from this card, where you have lost faith in someone, in some external thing, whether this is a friend, whether it's the government, whatever it is. Like this week, wherever you have lost your faith with someone or something, speak on it. Own it, right? Live in that space. Allow yourself to truly feel it, because that's the way that it really starts to change. Now, with that said, if you are a continued subby, you know Rafi loves you. And if you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share. And if you should so choose and this resonates, hit that subscribe button. Let's give them a quick shuffle. I do shuffle all of my decks before the readings, but I like to do it on camera so that you know that, I don't pull the cards or stack the deck. Right, anyway. So for this, you've got the Temperance card, right? So this is very, very interesting. And the reason being is the Faith card is number 5. Temperance is number 14. 1 and 4 gives you 5. Now, if you were on my tarot course, you already know this because I taught you it. But I basically say to people that temperance is the Hierophant set free, right? So here, this card can be about your rituals, the dogma, the things that you get bogged down in, the beliefs that you have and the way that they shape your life. Whereas the Temperance card is all of that set free, right? It's the essence of true spirituality, actually. And what this tells me is, because this is your actions and options, it's about what you do. This is about you recalibrating something. It's about bringing something back into more balance, into more alignment. This is, in a lot of ways, right? And remember, this card is Sagittarius ruled. This week is very much about where your faith is, what you have faith in, what your belief structures are either supporting you to build or hindering you from creating. Right, so that's on that level. You may find this week that you are inadvertently, because it is the Temperance card, drawn or sucked into some form of drama that maybe doesn't really have anything to do with you. And that's not to say that you shouldn't get involved. It's more a case of you need to ask yourself, how involved do you actually want to be, right? For your communications and conversations, you've got the King of Wands. So a Sagittarius male may feature for you this week in some way, shape or form. Why? King of Wands, usually a fire sign male, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. In your communication sector, this week it does suggest to me that you're going to be very vocal about what you think, about what you feel, about what you believe. This is a week for you to demonstrate that passion, and it looks like you will be doing that, right? In some way, shape or form, I kind of feel like the verbal gloves are off. Usually Librans tend to, right, because you guys are all about balance anyway. You like to harmonize situations. It's one of the things that is innate in your very nature. But this week, I kind of feel like it's more a case of if I have to upset the apple cart, then I will do it. And that's one of the things that I don't think you guys get enough credit for. You know, yes, everyone's like, oh, you know, Librans just want everyone to get along, or, you know, they're always trying to make peace and all the rest of it. When they're ready, trust me, they will tell you, right? if they need to, they will tell you. And I actually think this is a very good thing. Now, for those of you that are employed by somebody else, it would suggest to me that this week you are having to interact with a boss. This does, you know, I mean, maybe you're having a conversation with your boss that sees you airing a problem or a belief about the culture of the workplace, etc., that is an unpopular opinion. It might be that you are the mouthpiece for all of the things that everybody else around you is thinking or feeling. And this seems to be a bit of a thread for you guys that keeps coming up over and over. So if you find that this is the case, maybe, just maybe, you're supposed to speak on it in order for it to change, right? Sometimes the thing that needs to move forward is us, for the rest of the world to continue moving. Yeah, it really is that simple, and it really is that deep, and it really is that profound at times, in my humble opinion. But, you know, what do I know? For those of you that are business owners or people that work for themselves, something about pressing your, like, where is it that you, I think one of the questions you could ask yourself this week is, where is it that maybe your beliefs are stopping you from moving forward? You know, and that doesn't have to be your spiritual or religious beliefs. I mean, just your belief structure in general, you know, especially about yourself, right? If you're a business owner, this week you are going to have a chance, or maybe you will spot an opportunity to expand. And it will be where you highlight to yourself, okay, the reason this isn't happening, or the reason it hasn't happened up until now, is because there's some sort of either resistance or fear within me that hasn't been addressed yet. I kind of feel like this is a very deep week for a lot of you, you know, which isn't a bad thing. You know, I've never known you guys to shy away from anything like that anyway. Now, for those of you that are retired and no longer working, this would be a very good week to check in with your spiritual beliefs, to think about what you're doing with your days. How are you using your energy? What I will say as well, for those of you that are retired, it wouldn't surprise me if somebody comes to you for counsel this week. You know, maybe yours is going to be the word or the shoulder, or, you know, the hand on the shoulder that they need. So if you find that somebody's coming to you and kind of blurting stuff out that you're like, I'm not really sure, well, you know, why does this matter? There's a reason behind it, all right? For your love and relations, you have the World card. So you're graduating, all right, when it comes to the love life, my dear Libran. So if you're single, it's likely that you are meeting somebody that has a very similar outlook to you. Now, this is going to work in one of two ways. They're either going to highlight to you where you need to get it together, or they're going to highlight to you exactly the type of partner, energy, place, space, etc. that you need in order to have the kind of relationship that you desire. And the reason I say that is because I kind of feel like if you're meeting someone this week, the chances are, like, you'll know straight away through the conversation, like, yes, you know what, this person is a reflection of everything that I want or I'm looking for right now. And if they're not, they're going to be mirroring back to you directly what it is that you need to change or what it is that needs to shift. So this could be interesting. Now, if you are meeting someone, characteristics, they are likely to be somebody that is either in a legal or spiritual or even professional field. Legal, spiritual, professional fields, right? Sorry. The other thing is as well that might come up with this, because it's the World card. Whenever the World card shows up for relationships, 9 times out of 10 there's an age gap, and it's usually anywhere from 5 years, you know, either way. I feel like it will likely be that the person is up to and including 5 years older than you, but, you know, you never know. For those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments, the relationship finally gets to move to another level this week, and it's doing so in a lot of ways because of the newfound, the restructuring that you're doing on the inside is going to allow a different kind of communication, and that's going to take the relationship in a different direction. And I think this is actually very healthy for a lot of you at the moment. Okay, when it comes to your money, your finances and your resources, you have the Five of Cups. This is not an easy card, and it's not a great card for finances. If I'm completely honest with you, it may be, for those of you that are business owners, you might lose out on an opportunity, on a financial opportunity this week because you're not ready. And that's not like, don't let that freak you out. Don't let it upset you. I actually think this is a good thing. And what's going to come out of it is you are likely to be able to, it's likely going to be that, you know, like when something happens and you like, it annoys you so much that you're like, that is never happening again. This might be something like that if you're a business owner. In terms of all Librans, this is a loss of finances. It's a loss of money. And the weird thing is, I kind of feel like this is, you know, like maybe when you book something and you forget about it, and then when you try to get your money back, they're like, no, not possible. You missed your appointment or whatever. This kind of feels like it might be something like that. So if you know there's something you've been meaning to reschedule, to change the dates on, to get your refund on, get it together. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, the Five of Cups represents the reproductive system. And the Five of Cups in general is not a good card for health because it's usually a challenge or an issue that arises in response to overindulgence. Where is it that you're doing too much? And I will say this to you, for some of you, it's likely that you're taking your diet or your exercise to the extreme. With this combination of cards, it's not necessarily that you're sat on the sofa drinking, you know, and just eating pizza and doing nothing. It kind of feels like you're taking something to the extreme. So if you're on a diet, maybe do, you know, I'm not a doctor or a medical professional, but, you know, if you're on a diet or you're doing an exercise regime, ask yourself, are you overdoing it? Because that's the feeling that I get from it. And then when it comes to the home and the environment, what do you have here? You've got the Five of Cups, you've got the Faith card or the Hierophant, which is also 5. You've got the Temperance card, 1 and 4 technically is another 5. 3 5s represents determination. So it looks like this week there is an energy that you are like, you're not just willing, but you're determined to change something, and it's going to be a really deep shift. So your new moon message, so the new moon for you is falling in your 5th house. And this is the house of joy, creativity, fun. It's the house of romance and love as well. And this is like the preliminary stages as well. It's not like the deep relationship stuff, but it is a house of sensuality and sexuality as well. And the fact that you're having a new moon there, it's also the house of children and creativity I mentioned. It's also the house of speculative gambles. You got the 5 of Wands, 5 of Cups even in your home and in your finances. So no, all right, no speculative gambles, especially around the new moon, right? Because the new moon is a dark moon. You don't have the light yet, so you don't know what it's going to be. You can set an intention around that time, impregnate the universal conscious mind or energy, whatever you want it to be, with your thoughts about what you want to come out of that space and from that new moon. But it's not a time to make any financial decisions or invest in anything, all right? Wait, pull back from anything like that at the moment. Your new moon message is the Gate 32 and endurance, right? So this card is about instincts, it's about making money, it's about sniffing out ideas. It's also about proliferation, because that's what the bunnies represent. And in a lot of ways, in a lot of ways, like the hair, or because they're hares, they're not actually bunnies, they represent this feeling of almost like, you know, sometimes when you feel the fear of something and it stops you from moving forward. This is what's really trying to come through here for you. It's like, where is it that you're getting stuck or getting you in your own way? Now, the Gate 32, 3 and 2 gives you 5. What does that tell us? Well, four fives represents regularity. So the word is regularity, but for me, I see this as getting something moving, right? Where you're making something streamlined in a way through your determination. All right, so very, very interesting. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.